Hello, New World, and to all my G's. It's your boy 2 G's. Went back with the channel again, where we talk about nerd shit, anime shit, and G shit. Get the fuck out of here. Wow. What would you do if a gaping hole just appeared in your city? I'm talking endlessly deep and about like 5 football field lengths across. Would you get in? Would you? Would you still live around it? This is the whole around it. Would you still live around it? These are questions that are brought up and looked a lot more into, and something I want to bring to you today. Something I want to discuss to you guys today. Uh, First and foremost, how the format should be trying to kind of lining up, as we get our cards right and stuff over here. Uh, we're gonna be trying to put out a '90s themed exploration of the culture in anime in the '90s. So we're gonna pick a show, and we're just gonna dabble into some things about it. Why it's a classic, definitely how it influenced other animes and just the culture today. But we're also gonna be kicking it to more current, more up to date, more relevant shows that are carrying the torch for anime right now. So we already got the gangsta ass '90s. And you guys should help me come up with something for what we're gonna call the next segment. But in doing so, going back to how we explained about this gaping hole in the city, I wanted to bring to you guys one of the more current, like after 2008 type of, after 2010 type of anime, where it was just amazing. It was just amazing anime to me. The visuals were absolutely amazing. The concept was even better. But it's a show called Into the Abyss, or maybe we should Into the Abyss, and it's a great show. So back to like what I was saying before, it the story is based on around a town called Orith, and in this town Orith is exactly how I just pictured it to you. Their town is built around this unsurmountable hole, and it's huge, it's deep, it's vast. Yeah, like your mom. Nah, chill. Uh, but it's written by a guy Akihito Tsukushi, and I believe it was out in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. 2017 is when it came out. Um, it's it's about a girl, but before we talk about the main character, let's just build a solid foundation about what this show is. So this hole has been there for who knows when, how long. You know, we haven't exactly gotten into that as much. Um, it's a short anime so far. We only have the first season. It's short so far, so there's so many questions and so many unanswered things that are going on. But as we see, this town is built around a gigantic hole, and as humans are naturally inquisitive and want to know everything, people have ventured down into this hole to see what they can gather, to see what they can come up with. Now, this is not by any means anything for the faint of heart, because there is what they would call a curse that will afflict your body if you decide to travel down into the abyss. Uh, so, our main character name is Rika. Young girl, she's an orphan. She's lived in an orphanage her whole entire life, but she's fairly young, so not that long. Uh, she's been into exploring this abyss since she's could imagine. Since she was young enough to have a memory. This is what she wanted to do, and you can actually apply for this like some type of job to explore this abyss. These people are known as cave raiders, and as a cave raider, you would travel down into the abyss, and what they mean by raiding. There's what seems to be treasure left behind by long lost civilization. We're thinking Mayans. We're thinking like older civilizations maybe like some old civilization has left tons of stuff down there, right? And it's all unique, very unique items that they find there. Sometimes it's like unique metals and like unique types of metals, and sometimes it's just unique bioorganisms and stuff. You never know. This abyss is just so vast, and it almost seems to transcend time a little bit from what they have around in Orith and from what's down in the abyss. It's you can't even imagine what you might find down there. So it's all up in the air. So cave raiders, they go down there, they go spelunking, splunk. That's a funny ass word. They go spelunking and see what they can get. You know, bring up what they can. Uh, there's a class system set up called the whistles, the different classes. The further you go down, like I guess let's for example, 100 meters down would be this. I forget the colors of the whistles and stuff like that. The most important whistle is the white whistle. Now, as you go further down into the abyss, and actually not only if you go further down, if you go further down and actually make it back up, which is not everyone who even goes down there makes it back up. You might be off going down there first time, and nobody ever see you again. You know, that's just the struggles of going through this abyss for the riches that, or for anything that you might be going down there for. So the white whistles are the most prominent, the most effective when it comes to going down there. That means that they've been down there and back up numerous times. And one of the best, and when I say best, the most times brought up and down is this lady named Liza, who happens to be Rika's mom. And this is why her love and her admiration for the abyss came from, because her mom is literally the best cave raider ever seen. And she, of course, wants to follow her mother's footsteps and become that. So her whole time in this orphanage, she's been training and working hard and learning her best to be able to travel down and go to the into the abyss. I forget which class of whistle she is, but she's definitely under leveled to be trying to achieve what she wants to do, but she still does. And that's a great lesson for you guys. Yo, even if you're under leveled, dude, go ahead, go ham, go hard in that shit. Why not? You know, there's nothing else to lose, only things to gain. So go ahead, go for it. She decides to say, you know what? I'm going down. She takes the chance. I'm going down. And even though she's under leveled, she doesn't care. She sees what she wants to see, and she decides to make it her dream, and she's going for it full throttle, full send that bitch, go straight in that motherfucker. So that's what she does. She goes in there, even though without spoiling anything or how it goes, it's tough down in that abyss. And she's a little girl, but she manages to at least survive down there. And while surviving, she comes across a boy, which is amazing to say, because you would think one, grown men, adults barely even survive down here. What is this boy doing down here? Well, as we get further into the story, she meets this boy, and she decides to give him a name. The name is Reg. I believe it's like named after her dog or something that was above in Orth, or whatever the case may be. It seems that everyone in Orth knows. They all know the relation between Rika and Liza. Liza is Rika's mom. They all know the relation, and they all know that she's basically destined to be somewhat something like her mother. And they know, they are worried, but the thing is, like, as I said before, Liza was so good at what she does. Even being the daughter of her just seems to be a great sign that you're gonna be someone great. So she goes down there without permission. She wasn't supposed to be going as deep as she was, but she does it anyway. Like I said, she finds Reg, and Reg is definitely a unique character in his own, because from what we know, Reg is some type of cyborg boy, like bioengineered type of thing. What you see is, as they travel down into Abyss, they become partners, friends, you know, and they travel through with the same goal as to, one, find Liza, Rika's mom. As we go further into the story, Liza actually sends Rika a message via balloon from the depths. She goes down there. Liza goes down there, and like I said before, she's able to come back up and go back down and come back up because she's the greatest. But the last time she went, she never came back. She came up, dropped her baby off, went back down, and didn't show up again. Now, as Rika grows up, she travels down there and she gets a letter. There's a letter that's sent floating up to her, and it's from her mother telling her to come find me. Hmm. Now, first of all, I want to say there's a lot of shitty anime dads out there, and we all know Ging is the fucking worst. Ging is the worst. Put a picture of Ging here, the worst fucking dad of all time. Next to Goku. Goku's pretty trash too, bro. But the moms in anime usually are pretty fair. They always stick by the sides of the kids and all that, and do the best they can. How do you have a baby? What happened? What? I'm not gonna talk too deep in that, but how you have a baby down in that abyss? What's going on down there? I'm trying to say. But why would you bring her back up, leave her, and jump back in the hole? I'm like, all right, well, next, let's see what's gonna happen. And then you stay there, get stuck, and when she gets in there, just send a letter to her, like, come see me. Like, isn't that the most fucked up shit? Why would you tell your infant, you're not even in high school, not even in middle school kid to come down into this hellish abyss where people die, where instantly when you get down a certain length, you're afflicted with this curse, and you go through all types of hell and shit. Your head fucks up, your nose be bleeding and shit like that. Why would you send a message to your daughter saying, come here, come here, come into this hell with me and have fun? Like, what kind of shit is that? That might be terrible anime mom number one. I'm just saying. But so the letter comes up and she's like, "Find me, come find me," and that's what she does. So she's out to venture with Reg down there. And when I say Reg is a bioengineered human, he very much is. And this is when I also say that I believe things in the abyss transcend time, seeing as Reg, he's capable of some amazing feats, and I don't want to tell you what. You gotta watch it. You have to watch it because it's amazing. If you haven't seen it before, you have to watch this show. And it's a show that will pull at your heartstrings as this little girl tries to live up and be what her mom was. But also, it's a story about Reg, who literally is a lost boy who doesn't know who or what he is. It's in the most beautiful setting, as you would imagine. You go into the hole and you would expect everything to be pitch black, but it's not the case. This is a different type of abyss. This is a whole new world down there. It's sort of reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland, how what you think is possible is not, and what you think that is impossible is possible. It's such an amazing concept. Such a beautiful story to be told. Some of the key points are, this is super, 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 super beautiful. Everything is perfectly drawn out, is vibrant to the life, and you can see so much like energy throughout the whole show. But it's not just vibrant in the colors and the brightness and the sweetness behind it. It's also very like visual and vivid in the goriness and the darkness of the side of the show as well. Because as we see, you would think the abyss would be a terrible, dark, hellish place, but there are some parts of it that are beautiful, and there's some parts of it that are scary. Some parts that are unknown or just like unexpected down there. And that's what we expect. Some type of Wizard of Oz journey where you don't know what's going to happen next. But that is part of the abyss. Right now, it's great. The concept is amazing because you never see nothing like this. I've never seen a story that anywhere resembles something like this, or how they, go throughout with the story and stuff. It's also one of the more, it's a harder story to predict, as in you never know where the twists and turns might take you and stuff. So I give kudos to that, because that's an amazing thing to do for me, because I watch a lot of anime and stuff and it keeps me on my toes the whole time. It's short right now, only 13 episodes. It's perfect if you're gonna want to just sit back, watch the whole thing through, get a good story out of it, get some, give me a tear, get some cries in there. You feel me? You could get a lot of lesson and learning from this. Like I said, if you don't think that you can do it, doesn't matter if you think you can't do it. You might be able to do it. Just push yourself forward and handle that. It's sort of like a sci-fi Alice in Wonderland, but even more, because it has those anime tropes that we love, It has they box. Now you know I ain't watching nothing if they ain't boxing. And they was fighting. Like, you know, Reg, I told you Reg is a robot boy, but I ain't tell you what he could do. I'm gonna just leave that there. They go through all types of shit. Who's to say that, you know, the boogeyman might be in the abyss? You might have to fight his ass off. You know, a little girl can't do that, so that's why Reg is her top gun. Reg is top gun, no cap. You feel me? It's all types of randomness that you'll see in this show, and I definitely would recommend it for you guys to watch. It's called Made in the Abyss. You guys will love it when you watch it. This is the part one of the two-parter. If I had to rate this shit, I'll definitely rate it like an 8 out of 10. I probably would rate it higher, but the reason that I didn't is because we only have 13 seasons, and there's still open-ended shit that we want to get resolved. So when we get that done, I'll definitely make it a higher rating or lower rating depending on how they handle it. So this is part one. We got two short ones back to back for y'all. So I did part one, and Made in the Abyss. Definitely check that out. And we're gonna head over to the cozy corner with Willie-san, and he's gonna give us the second part. Hey yo, we pulled up on Willie in the cozy corner. Willie-san, what's poppin', dog?
So you already know Christmas came around, so I got a few gifts. I had to update the setup. I figured I'd show it off to y'all. So to start off, your first dub that you never knew was a dub, Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Two of the Lord Zed, Goldar. You know they go with the helmet. I figured have them together. Dope. Shout out to the boy James, aka Hamas710.
Big Hamas.
Next up, we got my boy Black Agumon, given to me by my boy Sway.
Big
You
Sway.
know, yeah, this is the early 2000s version of this toy. They made a new one. It goes into 2017. Like there's a line of them, about 8, from the same line as Diablo Mob right here. You know, y'all are gonna get a compare and contrast video at one point. I gotta show it to you because even though this is all plastic, no die cast, still super sturdy.
Yeah, I got the
dope.
2017 version of that same Agumon.
Yeah, and now I can't find it nowhere. It'd be like that. Next up, a gift from Kenny, my boy Shuhei, the Lieutenant Squad 9 from Bleach. You already know. And it came with Can't Fear Your Own World. I have not read this. I did not know that this light novel existed. Super excited. Apparently his Bankai is in here, so I can't wait. I can't wait to see Kazeshini as the Bankai. It sounds super dope. And then the last couple things. These two Yu Hakusho pops, the new demon forms of Yusuke and Kurama. Funny story about these. So my boy Sway got me the Yusuke, the Yoko Kurama, and the Black Agumon. My girl got me the demon Yusuke as well. So, you know, I had to display hers. Sway's is in the closet, but it is what it is. Also got an extra cool
Collecting
bar
up dust.
And then, you know, my last gift that I got, this dope ass Atsuko blanket, the Gundam head, the old RX original, the OG, just like this, just different colorway. And I love this thing. I love the colors in it, the different gradients. It's not just a white Gundam head. They put like a lot of nice shading to it. Yeah, it's dope. And it's super cozy. Super cozy. So now, I also know that Kenny was talking to y'all about, you know, shorter anime that came out in the late 2000s. So mine is Death Parade. Came out about 2015, written, created, directed by Yuzuru Tachikawa. Yuzuru Tachikawa. It's a really dope anime. It's one of those psychological genres where it's like it keeps you thinking every single corner. So this is how we break it down to you. 2 people die at the exact same time. They are transported to this bar called Quindecum. There's a bartender. Well, there are several bartenders, but you either meet up with the main character, Decum, or one of the other, I believe there's 4 or 5 of them. So, in this bar, you have to play a game with the other person that you're there with. But this game is basically to judge you whether your soul is reincarnated or if it's just disposed of and not sent on to the next life. It's a really dope concept for a show. It's wild. The first episode is just jaw-dropping at the end. It's insane. It's like you see how like desperate situations really play on people and turn them against each other. It's an insane show. Ultimately, the bartender decides who goes where, but it was really dope. It's part of the Young Animators Training Project that the Japanese government does. Basically, it's a program to train young animators to do what they love, which is always super, super dope. The show's a product of that. There's many, many more. It's such a really, really clean show. The animation is fire. They don't be boxing, but there's plenty of violence. There's plenty of stuff to make you be like, whoa, what just happened? Why they do that to them? What's this for? The backstabbing, the double crosses. It's all there. And
I watched episode 1
of your seat.
I watched episode 1 and was
wild.
floored by it.
It's
Crazy.
wild. It's great.
Crazy.
12 episodes, nothing crazy. It's on Funimation. Like, it's a very, very simple watch. Like, you can carve out time for this. It's real, real easy, really dope. I love it. Like, it'll really tug at your heartstrings and, like, also make you think, like, you know, like, everybody's actions determines where they go. You know, like, if you ain't shit, like, during these trials,
You still ain't gonna be shit when you're dead.
yep, you just die. And it's just wild. I love how it plays with the mind. I love how you're, like, you really don't know what's happening next. And then, like, at the end of the series, you get, like, this big, like, what if that, like, just makes you think about the whole show in a totally different light. It's really dope, really short, really easy to check out. Like, I suggest it. It's
Beautifully
fire.
drawn too.
It's
Beautifully drawn
fire.
and animated as well
It's
too.
fire.
Mhm.
It's so dope. And it's like the bartenders, they're people, but they're not supposed to be people with emotions. The emotions kind of mess up how they judge the other people.
You're supposed to be neutral, yeah.
Exactly. They're supposed to be very neutral. But then, like, this one bartender, he knew that they just made his emotions are starting to affect how he judges, so they got to shut that down real quickly. But I was telling Kenny, there's a portion of the show where it's like he gets this one girl, and he's like, where do I send you? So he puts her through, like, 3 different trials and ends up just traumatizing her. And he's like, and in turn traumatizing himself because he's like, I don't know how to feel. What is feeling? What do I do with all these emotions? It's crazy. It'll take everything you think was gonna happen in it and just put it on its head.
It's a thinker. It's a
It's
thinker.
a fire show. Some other things I want to talk about, you know, a couple new releases that are coming out that I'm super excited about. First of all, I finally did it. I finally put the money aside to get not 1, but 2 Imperial Dramon model kits.
Big balling ass nigga.
Jason, put the picture up, you know.
Wow.
We'll find it. You know, you need 1 for fighter mode, 1 for dragon mode. It's just how it is. Another thing, the Hype Lane and Yasha collabs, those are supposed to be fire. There's going to be like 40 some odd pieces, hoodies, sweatpants, rugs. Shout out to Hype Lane. I got the Naruto rug in the corner. Can't wait to put that up somewhere.
Big hype.
Yeah, man. And yeah, and so now I'm going to send y'all to the fit of the week. Be easy.
Yes, sir.
What's good, all my nieces and nephews? Who's ready to get fly with Uncle Willie's son? It's the anime fit of the week, and this week, one of my favorite pieces, boom, the Hypeland tie-dye Itachi hoodie, paired with some minimal cargo pants, my flame lowland sea vans, and I look ready to go on the S-rank mission, you know what I'm saying? Very ninja-esque of me this evening. You know what I mean? Boom, wash your hands, ready with my kunais and my ravens.